Welcome to Melodies TV, Ghana's #1 social platform.
As we are all waiting for fourth match, the Judgment Day, Endra, made the closing address of John Dramani Mahama Ebremo. Na the closing address no, in some wa wakan wom etre say, wo hwe ade esiye ewo court ana election wo hwe de esiye wo mo de wo mo approve wo mo point through wo mo witnesses na senior Jimensa wono nso edwane say wo mba embeye cross examination no na etre say asema wo mo ka no eye ne kre because say enya ne kre ananka wo say Jimensa ba na omonim go ase eno hunti court no emma yenkoye re-election court no ma yenkoto abano foforo because Jimensa declaration na wo declare no wo ye calculation na obehu ne say wo bie ni ho a wonya 50 + 1 eno ene asemo a John Dramani Mahama wo troye e wo ne closing address mu. President Akufo, who also a party in this election petition, who is respectively the second respondent in so akasa e wa same way ho ono so the closing a year address at the Akoto Supreme Court nim na asema President Akufo nso eka ne tentini ne teaching mu ne say o hwe saa de we mu pa NDC for e de aba Supreme Court nim a enye election petition eno hunti Supreme Court for embo ensem ningu asem no it has no reasonable course of action we asem we nya asem bia no hunti ye beka say ye gina so ama sebe abato a ye nna yakosala ya bre atui ye gina so ama abato ne abebogu ama yakoto foforo dabi President Akufo say asem we are NDC for the abayi enya asem we say ye gina so yes ade nti ye mbongu o kan say bebre the closing address no me read some parts of the closing address so that Ghanaians understand what's going on this particular matter because omunna na wo say wo bia akasa na trese ye he de wo bia nso eye de eka me wi am de Jimensa de nso ebebre later in the day. Now what they are saying and they say the petition itself is frivolous and it has no reasonable course of action. It remains unshaken. Na nini nemu no evidence a wo mo say NDC for dia ba ni na no nini na still abatuo we abatuo bi a ejinemu pintin senya na NDC for pese ye ti ase se boni esi ene ye wi omo no wo mo say yenya sa eneti na wo bo wi ye no wo mo ma ye ti ase in their closing address say NDC for witnesses kraba no they performed woefully not to say NDC witnesses ne kra no sabi o mbegu o mu ho ani mu ase wo mo ntumi input up good performance. See, during their respective cross examination no their woeful performance no has further buttressed wo mo Nana Akufo ne point and the position say sa election and as election petition we kra no na ke ni kwan kra say ye tra so munim say answer na ye be trial and asem ne be trial no Akufo etroye ema Supreme Court say asem ne kana nko mo ntie me the story ne bremo nti o se sisia no wonu Akufo yakọ akotie asem ne tie NDC for witnesses ni ewie no onu Akufo kra ehu ne se se munimanka se ne amekansa asem ne kana nka ma mu ntie kra no munimanka na nke ye ne sa because ngrofo no wo mo aba abegu o munimu ase ama yehu ne se ne kre de onu Akufo kan ye no saa na nke wo se ye no saa na nsem ne ti wo se saa de we in the instant matter it is clear on the face of the petition and indeed the evidence of Mr. Asiedun Ketia in particular that the petitioner was not in court to challenge the validity of the election, but the case concerns the performance of the function of the first respondent, EC, and its chairperson pertaining to the declaration of the presidential election of December 2020. Well, see, this shows that the petition is not an election petition, properly so called. It's a say and a walk asa. Say, indeed, as you don't get your evidence, I will mobile NDC for one more my yet, as I say, one more, one more backward say, Sabi, one more. Ede abato ne ho nsensem o one mostly declaration, and then NDC has actually made that point very clear. Said the declaration na Jean Mensa or no declaration no and a woman de aba court. It's President Akufo Addo catch court and say, and the catch say asem na NDC for the aba court no and your election petition. And the performance of the EC and NDC for the aba court. Into my and kind of say your election petition. And your election petition. Because NDC for Airban Sebi in previous. They didn't speak about the electoral process. Oman can say, oh, polling station way, and they say they also, and then was a woman casa because some of the sound they buy it. And you see, in Mahama, so the closing address, also can ask them to say, in 2013, ruling a buy our President Akufo Addo DNS a different matters. So President Akufo Addo so so you see one point how Mahama is using it for his gain, and President Akufo Addo is also using it for his gain. So Mahama can say the case no different from President Akufo Addo there. Inti my enhweso embongo te say ne ebo President Akufo Addo there ni gu year 2013. President Akufo Addo so can say ne kra Mahama case no different from me there no. Me there no there na proper election petition. Because in Yama because so polling station and you know say affected the final result in Yama no any kwan say na ke penny. Now so Mahama there ne one fasa Yama namba. Onu hu ne say declaration no and a mistake ba ho. Na say declaration a mistake ba ho there na say Jimensa performance. And I walk on asem. Say your Jimensa performance there, then properly you can't call it as an election petition. This is what President Akufo Addo is telling the courts. He's also making his point. Was the second respondent argued as someone President Akufo Addo kano as someone walkani was say from Mahama no won only release na wopeno. He did not contest the propriety of the conduct of the elections. Hence his call for another election between him and Onono Ayadibia was a yebogu. Mahama release no ayadien was a yenya re-election. Yen to abane fufro. Yen order Jimensa. Yen go to abane fufro. Akufo Addo so asema o can say Adi, you are not contesting about one because when this year bisawa o say enya about one na odi aba court na declaration no. Na obi a won kan say about one mistake no. E see then you go to abane foforo because you have to, according to President Akufo Addo no, onu hu ne say you have to contest and show say about one no boni bi si wo mu ansa na ya etumi akoto foforo. Asema President Akufo Addo so work no. Asema work no. Wasi bu Mahama asama on so catch aso say Mahama ba na wo ba betre say wo bi ani ho a wonya 50% plus 1 Mahama ba court na wo be ka sansem no na wo bi a wo kan sansem no at least nanka wo ba fa wo numbers and wo figures bra na hu ne say ne kre because the only figures available is in the no any yen so say be onu President Akufo Addo MPP for there, which shows clearly according to them say womo there womo nya 50% plus 1. Into wa wo ka say womo nya 50% plus 1 na nka fa wo figures bra you could be sound say wo figures were here o see o man fa figures amba. Media, you guys know my thoughts on that particular matter. And bra may kasa about Mahama the closing address no. I spoke on that particular matter as well. Me ka say and the crown put their men so many tears here. I mean, I spoke on that matter. You guys know. I spoke on that matter. Make I say no, and don't put their men so many tears here because the cre. So see ye wa can ye we do draw ye we na Ghana phone na ye hu. Was it not having pleaded these fundamental material facts and no evidence having been led on same? Or say it is our humble submission that this petition does not qualify to be an election petition. Obi abre ni mojeni e de asema court e kan say election petition no President Akufo Addo say ade no my friend election petition court what's my friend election petition kra it doesn't even qualify any ahonding kra say friend election petition. Now what we are normal just like I told you was say the electoral processes they weren't contested by John Dramani Mahama. When it comes to the process of voting, Mahama emphasized some number courts. When it comes to counting of votes, say yeah kan abana krano, Mahama amfa mbakot say yeah kan no ebia asumesi obenten yeah kan wa ha say yeah kan wa ha yeah kan wa ha yeah kan wa ha no erosa esi wo ho no no. Was say when it comes to declaration of results at the polling stations krano Mahama emphasized the number court among others. But so same way I don't know because say one of the witnesses at the vote pardonings and someone is see some polling stations no say the person filed that as an evidence. I stand to be corrected. And so if the vote pardon was seen as evidence, I think that amounts to the counting of votes and declaration, the errors that comes with the counting. I don't know, but me imagine a metre it was same way so. Imagine a metre. Now, I want to read further their closing address. I said the court is invited to hold that no challenge of the conduct of the election is stated from paragraph 1 to 30 of the petitioner's petition. And then I make no. And then I make no. Was say the Supreme Court therefore is not clothed with jurisdiction to entertain any matter clothed with apparel of presidential election petition when in fact it is not. Let me read the biome. I said the Supreme Court therefore is not clothed with jurisdiction to entertain any matter clothed with apparel of presidential election petition when in fact it is not. I said Sebi Supreme Court no. Hona Supreme Court ne de ono deal with election petition. Untumi nkofa asem bi dress no enye say election petition into the Supreme Court when in fact asem ne kanye election petition. The asem ne mpo de enye asem an anke wo say itumi eba Supreme Court enim ho. Asem a President Akufo Addo no. Otiaso was say apart from the fact that this figure is incontrovertible, petitioners failed or refused to provide any contrary evidence that would establish or least suggest that the valid vote declared for the 12 candidates were erroneous. Someone okay osanso ekan no because the work no yeah the figures about is including the figures about. So what can the figures near wrong? Can we figure say? It will be because say did the president address the errors that in fact yenina yehu our court say yes errors is here now yes he addressed it. Now before we use for that errors no innocuous or say just innocuous errors near kase bibi innocuous just say adia it is not harmful adia into me proud be and are not offensive and then you can say innocuous it is a President Akufo Addo address errors not as innocuous not to say any errors be as be able to me affect the entire electoral process. The other one no akwa say 2013 Osho 2013 verdict e ba ya ye to mu say yes and some President Akufo Addo mo e de ba court no na omodie ewom na nsem no omodie ewom but se vote na wo mo eka say ye mfa nka omodie ye de kan ho class still there's no way wo mo be win election no intia na still ye de Mahama no intia no ye kan say innocuous. Yes, errors no dey see, but nye errors are ever affected the entire outcome of the election. Mon try mo adwo comment box ni mo. Be da see.